Okay. I'll take big.
Hottest round. I tell your mother, biggie bounce.
Yo, man, what's with
This movie is about a debt collector who suddenly has to fight against illegal gold mining entrepreneurs in the Amazon jungle, and the story begins. At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to a man named Beck, a SmackDown player who is now a debt collector. He is seen collecting on an American football athlete named Brian, who is partying at a nightclub, but instead of paying his debts, Brian asks for an extension of the payment grace period because now his money has run out for spree. Beck, who did not agree, asked for the diamond ring worn by Brian as a guarantee of payment, but Brian kicked him out and humiliated him in front of many people.
Okay.
While in the toilet, Beck called his boss to rearrange Brian's debt collection schedule because Brian and his fellow athletes had to compete in the near future, and Beck did not want to hurt them about the debt, but his boss did not want to know, and in the end, there was a violent debt collection.
I'll take big.
Hottest round. I tell your mother, biggie bounce.
Yo, man, what's with
When Beck wants to go to his boss's place, suddenly an unknown man attacks him. Then we are introduced to a conglomerate named Walker, who employs Beck as his personal debt collector. He is the one who has sent someone to attack and take the ring from Beck's hand so that Beck's work is considered a failure and does not lose his best employee. Because it turns out Beck wants to quit the job and the debt collection should be his last assignment because Beck wants to start a new life as a restaurant owner. And because the debt collection task that was considered a failure, Walker then gave the last task to Beck and promised to release him and give him the restaurant he wanted if this mission was successful. The mission is to find and bring home Walker's son Travis, who is now in a gold mining town in the Amazon forest. And in the end, considering that Travis was too busy hunting for treasure and neglecting his duties as a successor to his father's business, Beck said he was ready to carry out the mission to find Walker's son in the Amazon forest. Upon arrival at an airport, Beck then had to travel by road to the city of El Dorado. Meanwhile, Travis was seen talking about something to a bartender named Mariana, and Travis's arrival there turned out to be to borrow her uncle Mariana's ship, which he would use to search for ancient artifacts in the interior of the Amazon forest worth tens of millions of dollars. Mariana then said she was willing to lend the ship on the condition that Travis had to share the proceeds from the sale of the artifact by 50%. In short, Beck finally arrived at a gold mining area to look for Travis's whereabouts because based on the information he got, Travis had connections with several mining bosses there. Not long ago, Beck met directly with the mining boss named Hatcher, and he immediately asked him about Travis's whereabouts. But before providing this information, Hatcher first showed Beck the activities of the miners there, who were in fact native to the Amazon forest. Instead of pity and concern, this greedy boss was amazed and seemed excited when he saw the suffering experienced by the gold miners there. Then at the same time, he asked Beck for $10,000 as the price to bring Travis home to his father. In short, Beck arrived at Mariana's bar and immediately asked where Travis was, and at the same time, Travis appeared in front of Beck. Beck immediately offered Travis a choice whether Travis would surrender himself carefully or violently. After successfully paralyzing Travis, they were suddenly visited by Hatcher and his minions. Hatcher asked Beck to release Travis because Hatcher needed him to find an ancient artifact that only Travis could lead them to get the artifact. Hearing that, of course, Beck protested because he had paid $10,000 in exchange for Travis's previous return, but Hatcher was convoluted, saying that the money was considered a ticket price to see the sights at the mine, and after that there was a fight between them. After defeating and escaping from them, there was an argument between Beck and Travis in the car that made Travis desperately slam the steering wheel of his car towards the ravine. And after surviving the accident instead of helping each other, they continued to fight again.
Who is this? Is he your friend? friend.
Say hello. You're gonna stop speaking right now. Out of Stanford after 2 semesters.
While on the other hand, Hatcher and his men were still hunting them. On the way to find a way out of the forest, Travis suddenly wanted to pee and asked Beck to open his zipper because his hands were currently handcuffed, which of course Beck immediately refused. But rather than their journey later getting slower, finally Beck was forced to do it. But suddenly,
Welcome to the jungle, tough guy.
Use your cuffs.
Travis was very happy to see Beck stuck in a trap, and when Travis wanted to leave Beck, unexpectedly, he was also hit by the same trap.
I don't want it.
While they were trying to save themselves, there was a scream coming from several animals that had surrounded the two of them, and shortly thereafter, there was also a sound of gunfire coming from the rebel troops, who then Beck and Travis were taken to their hiding place.
Starting to long for a monkey with a heart on.
While in hiding, one of the troops named Manito asked several things to the two of them, and because Beck could not speak Portuguese, then Travis was the interpreter between them. Here Beck was thoroughly slandered by Travis from being accused of being Hatcher's hitman, to being accused of insulting the ancestors of the rebel troops. As a result, Beck was invited to a duel with the troops.
Hip-hop.
I don't want to do this. Please.
I think they're really listening to me anymore.
Mariana.
In addition to being a bartender, it turns out that Mariana is also the leader of the rebel army. In the evening, they had dinner together and told each other stories. Mariana also told the reason why she formed an army, which could be formed as a result of Hatcher's cruelty and oppression of workers in the gold mine, which instead of providing welfare to the community, they got misery. Manito and Beck seem to be getting better now, and the conversation between them is translated by Mariana. Manito also gave Beck a gift in the form of a necklace because Beck is considered a great fighter. But not long after that, suddenly, Beck, Travis, and Mariana managed to escape the pursuit of Hatcher's troops, but Manito was shot dead while fleeing. On the way, there was an argument between Mariana and Travis about the ancient artifact they were looking for. Mariana urges Travis to immediately lead her to the artifact because it is the hope for the people to get out of Hatcher's tyrannical grip. Of course, the proceeds from the sale of the artifact can prosper the people of El Dorado, who then they do not have to work anymore in Hatcher's mine. On the other hand, Hatcher's troops are still combing the entire forest area in search of the whereabouts of Beck, Travis, and Mariana. After a few kilometers of walking through the forest, they found a waterfall, which turned out to be where the ancient artifacts were stored, and they immediately swam into the waterfall. Then Travis blamed a lighter to check the methane gas content in the cave, and suddenly,
No clue what you're doing.
Oh, shut up!
while exploring the cave, they found wood lined up supporting several large stones above which seemed to be a model of the Aztec era safe to protect their valuables, and there must be a code or puzzle that must be solved to get to the artifact.
Rookie, 6 closest to the Jaguar will be okay. I did! I found you!
Travis managed to get the artifact, and immediately the cave collapsed. In short, night fell and they rested while eating some fruit, but soon Beck and Travis, who were eating the fruit, were dizzy and their vision became blurry. Beck and Travis turned out to have been framed by Mariana, and at that moment, Mariana left with the artifact. Then when Beck and Travis realized from the effects of the fruit, unexpectedly, several animals attacked them.
I want my lockdowns.
The next day, they both went to the airport planning to return home, and soon Beck met a pilot who gave information that it turned out that Mariana had been caught and the artifacts were taken by Hatcher. Beck was immediately indecisive, but finally he decided to save Mariana and her artifacts. While giving some strategies to his troops, Hatcher was surprised by Beck, who threatened him through CCTV and did not flinch from Beck's threat. Hatcher immediately directed all his troops. When all the troops were on alert, they were surprised by the appearance of the previous pilot, and when everyone was surprised by the pilot's behavior, suddenly, instantly, the area was attacked by cows and a shootout was inevitable.
Hi.
Up to this point, Beck was still sticking to his principle of not using firearms in his fights, but he was faced with the fact that if he didn't shoot, he would die, so he was forced to break his promise. After eliminating all the armed forces, Beck then had to face Hatcher's executioners. Beck finally managed to defeat all of Hatcher's troops, and Hatcher was seen ready for his body to be ganged up on by the community. Hatcher surrendered and fell before them, and Travis handed over the ancient artifact to Mariana and the people there. 2 days later, Beck managed to return Travis to his father, and soon a warm welcome was given by Walker to his son, who had not been home for a long time. Walker also fulfilled his promise to Beck to allow him to resign and give Beck the restaurant he wanted. At the same time, Beck also brought Walker a souvenir from the Amazon jungle that had previously made Travis and Beck faint, and the movie was over.
Walking right through that door, Billy.
Dad.